Yo, what's up, everybody? This is G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast.
Alone, he does well in pass blocking, but then you got it's three interior guys now to where Caleb Williams, who's not the biggest, okay, is going to have space, as we know. He does like to hold the ball at times. I don't think that Ben Johnson's going to be able to totally get that out of him, right? He's going to work on that, but he's also going to look at some of those plays where he kept the ball in his hands a lot of times and go, that was pretty good. I don't want you to lose all of that. That was magical.
I don't think he does. I mean, he said that in a press conference where he's like, it's going to be fun to have.
He's got to find that blend. And two, where Caleb Williams and where to me that makes sense is, okay, smaller quarterback. Okay, we want to run the ball. We like that. It's going to open up play action. We know Ben Johnson's a master at that. And he has a little bit of the Mahomes, where if you just worry, if you keep the guys in his face at bay, there's usually lanes on the edge, right? And you don't need, we all know you need some tackles, even Mahomes, as we saw in the Super Bowl. But it doesn't always have to be like the best left tackle in football. Now he can see people are not in his face, and okay, I'm back here, I'm deep in the pocket, 7-8 yards deep. Okay, we're good up front, and now there's a little alley because, of course, the pass rushers are flying upfield, and if I need to sneak out to the right or to the left, I can go between my guard and tackle and find a way there. And he's, of course, is amazing at avoiding people. But damn, what a turnaround to the offensive line, way to make moves, and Drew Dalman is a freaking player, and one of the reasons that Atlanta is so good at running the football the last few years with Bijan Robinson at running back. Run game is really his thing. That's where he is special, is run blocking for Drew Dalman.
And that's what Ben Johnson will want to do. Is what he did with the Lions and will want to do with the Bears.
Jonah Jackson, right? He had him in Detroit, so he knows what he's made of. He's a road grader. Tooney's a little more in pass protection, but still such a damn good guard. You get him. He's really known for his pass protecting ability, but he's no slouch in the run game. Thanks for watching Chris Sims Unbuttoned. Hey, just because the season's over, it doesn't mean we're over. We ain't going anywhere. The NFL never dies.
We're staying right here. Hit subscribe. We got every NFL move. We'll react to that. Plus, Chris has got 4,719 draft prospect profiles to do.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe. You know where to find us. Peace out, homies.
The Chicago Bears are making another move. And do you know how smart Ben Johnson is? Not only have they added 3 brand new interior offensive linemen to help out this offense, but now they're understanding, okay, what wins football games? The trenches, offensive line, defensive line, protecting your quarterback and getting to the opposing quarterback. They add Dayo, Odeyingo, and now they add Grady Jarrett, a guy who was just released from his team a few hours ago and is on his way to the Chicago Bears. For a second, let me look and see if I can find the deal. It's a 3-year, $43 million deal, and let me tell you guys this is worth it. Grady Jarrett is a difference maker. Last season, the Bears ranked 27th in yards allowed per rush and also 27th in yards allowed per game on the ground. Grady Jarrett is someone who is a top 50 interior defensive lineman in stopping the run, but can also get to the quarterback. And in this video, what I wanted to do was break down what Grady Jarrett adds to this team and who he is as a player. Before we dive into it, let me know in the comment section down below how you feel, but more importantly, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let's dive into some film. All right, look at this play here by Grady Jarrett. This one is what gets me excited because how, right? So we're going to get a little bit of a handoff to George Pickens on a little bit of a reverse, right? Look at Grady Jarrett's reaction time and look at the pursuit by Grady Jarrett here. This is relentless type of stuff. Man, welcome to Chicago. When you look at this player, I see Chicago written all over it, communicating with his teammates. All right, slide back. Yes, perfect. Look at this dude. And once he gets to this second level of the offensive backfield, watch him go right through this guy. Boom, push him back 3 yards. Go, high motor type of player. That alone screams Chicago Bears. Negative 10-yard loss. Now, I wanted to show you a lot of these games, or I wanted to show you one game. Like, I didn't want to spread it out and show you 17 games, 3 plays. Let's see what he can do in one game. This is one game. Grady Jarrett on the outside. Look at him line up with like a 5 technique. I mean, he's outside of the right tackle, so he can line up inside as a 1-2 tech, a 5 tech. This dude can line up everywhere. So here he goes, attacking the right tackle, blows right through him, and ultimately comes down with half a sack here. Dude, I love this dude's persistence. He's never going to give up on a play. And you add him alongside Odeyingo, Andrew Billings, Jervon Dexter, Montez Sweat. What a pickup. And don't forget about Austin Booker as well. I love what they're doing with this team. And Grady Jarrett's a guy that's going to help out in the trenches right away. I am amazed. Absolutely amazed with what Ben Johnson is doing. We're going to drop a video in a couple of days, or actually probably later on tonight, a video breaking down not only all of the additions from the offensive line, or the offense, but also the defense. Odeyingo and Grady Jarrett, oh man, I'm excited to see these guys together. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this an A- signing. I think it's huge. I think it helps them right away. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Look at this. Blows up Saquon Barkley on the Super Bowl champion Eagles. I mean, just goes right through. And if you ever think, right, we're going to send this right tackle.
Bears have beefed up that offensive line for Caleb Williams. Couple trades coming into free agency day, and now they got Drew Dalman.
Damn.
And the Bears, a 3-year deal as a former 4th-round pick, which I like here. A lot of these big money guys are like 4th-round, 5th-round picks here. Get your money, guys.
Definitely.
A 3-year deal, former 4th-round pick by Atlanta in 2021. Here's the new line. It was a 4-year, $42 million deal, or 3-year, $42 million deal, $28 million guaranteed. So now you got, Braxton Jones at left tackle, Darnell Wright at right tackle. You got those staples, and you filled in with Drew Dalman, Joe Tooney, and Jonah Jackson this offseason.
This is quite the turnaround in 1 week. I mean, that's all you can say. I mean, they're set. They don't have to worry about anything. Nothing. O-line done. Braxton Jones has exceeded expectations. He's played well at left tackle. He's earned the right to be that guy there.
Yeah, we have some
Tevin Jenkins at right tackle.
Right,
he's perfect for that. Big road grader type, right? That can do that. But I think, or Darnell Wright, excuse me, I said Tevin Jenkins. Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. So they got that, like your traditional run blocking right tackle, let alone he does well in pass blocking. But then you got it's 3 interior guys now, to where Caleb Williams, who's not the biggest, okay, is going to have space, as we know. He does like to hold the ball at times. I don't think that Ben Johnson is going to be able to totally get that out of him, right? He's going to work on that, but he's also going to look at some of those plays where he kept the ball in his hands a lot of times and go, that was pretty good. I don't want you to lose all of that. That was magical.
I don't think he does. I mean, he said that in a press conference where he's like, it's going to be fun to have.
He's got to find that blend. And two, where Caleb Williams and where to me that makes sense is, okay, smaller quarterback. Okay, we want to run the ball. We like that. It's going to open up play action. We know Ben Johnson's a master at that. And he has a little bit of the Mahomes, where if you just worry, if you keep the guys in his face at bay, there's usually lanes on the edge, right? And
yo, what's going on, everybody? It's G Walker, the CNG podcast, man. How y'all doing out there, man? We got a couple of technical difficulties right now, but we're gonna get it going right now. I got the Bears Den podcast in here right now, and we're gonna go off. We got a couple of free agents. We got the center from Atlanta. We got Garrett. We got the dude from the Colts. It's been a couple of people, man. So we got a couple of comments. Yep. Oh, Craig said he was in Jamaica. Yeah, we got him in here. And he says, "What's up, Craig?" We having issues on X right now. Issues. If anybody's on Twitter, y'all already know that this has been messing up all day. So. Hold on. CJ, you still in here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, man. This was probably the biggest signing today. So I'm gonna start with Chicago. The Bears Den podcast. I'm gonna start with Andy. Andy, what was your thoughts when you got this guy right here, man?
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorely lacking throughout the years.
What's up, everybody? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Can
you.
y'all see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
All right, man, we good. It's been some problems on X. If anybody's on Twitter right now, this has been a crazy day on Twitter. It's been a crazy day on Twitter, man. It's been refreshing. It's been crashing. I've been trying to go live the last 20 minutes or so, trying to make sure everything's been correct for us and everybody in the chat, on X, on Facebook, or even on YouTube. Elon need to get his shit together on X, bro. Like this, yeah, I think this probably was the most important signing. Andy, can you hear us? I think I have to turn my mic on. Let me say something, Andy.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear everybody.
Oh, I can hear you perfect now, man. I can hear you perfectly now. So, it was probably my end, man. I'm so used to this. There's a lot of technical difficulties happening today. But after the center since he's been here.
Nah, man. We've been asking for, and the Bears fans are asking for a center for long. You know, the fact that Caleb has a guy that can call protecting plays out there, and, you know, before he snaps the ball, it's gonna help him out a lot. So this is a big signing right here for the Bears.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a big signing, man. And then we got Craig right here with a comment. Welcome back coming from Jamaica, Craig. He says, rumors say that he turned down a bigger offer to come to the 0.8, 66.6 in pass block, 80 damn near 80 in a run block for Chicago clearance. How do these numbers make you feel about our new center here in Chicago?
Well, you want a center, number one, that's going to be able to do the line calls. So that's number one. Number two, with the way Ben Johnson likes to run his offense, he's planning on running the ball. We're going to run the ball down people's throat. You need a capable center that's able to do that. We're going to have that in Dalman. Number three, what's your pass protection rate looks like? How many times are you allowing people to come through the A-gap and hit your quarterback? If you're keeping that down, that's exactly what we have. That's what we're going to get in Dalman. And that's the reason why he was my number one person on the board in free agency other than Ronnie Stanley. Now, we didn't get Ronnie Stanley, and that's fine. But our number one need on our offensive line was a new center. That's over left guard, right guard, left tackle. We needed somebody new that was going to be able to add protection up the A-gap and be able to do efficiently and effectively line calls. Because we all know what the center position is supposed to be on the offensive line. He's basically, to steal a punt, he's the quarterback of the offensive line. He makes the line calls. He lets Caleb know who's coming, who's blitzing. They supposed to work together in tandem. So having somebody like that is going to be super, super key. And I'm excited about the run game more than anything because a running game is a quarterback's best friend. You keep the defense tired, you keep them out there, you can sustain long drives. But number one that we ain't really got to yet is a lot of things. And one of the issues that we had on our offensive line last year was pre-snap penalties. And anytime we got any kind of momentum going, we had pre-snap penalties, we had holding calls, all of that. Drew Dalman and the other guys that we got, that we're going to talk about later, are super key. They don't commit a lot of penalties.
Yeah, well said. I'm gonna go to Andy. With the next thing. Just you can see these numbers right here. And hold on, Andrew. The Bears News Australia, bro. Thank you for coming to the show, man. I know you're in Australia, but please go to our X page and see if we're live on X because Twitter's been tripping all day. So just do me one favor, man. Go to my Twitter page and see if it's live up there because if not, I'm gonna have to come back in here and try to fix it or whatever. So Andy, look at this, man. Offensive snap. Hold on, let me get this comment off of here.
You're not live.
Yeah, it's Twitter, man. I'm sorry to everybody on Twitter. That's crazy. Yeah, Twitter's been messing up. So, these are his numbers right here. Offensive snaps played 554, 31st out of 64 centers. But look at his penalties. 3 penalties, and that was 31st. So, and only 2 sacks allowed. So this is going back to what Chicago Clarence was saying. So I can sleep a little bit better with these type of numbers. What do you think?
Absolutely. And then you throw in Joe Tooney. How many sacks did he allow last year? I think very few penalties. I think we brought that up on the last show. So now you got 2 guys side by side who don't commit penalties and don't allow sacks on the quarterback. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge upgrade. You got to protect your quarterback. That's rule 1. You get a franchise quarterback, you have to protect him. And I think we did that today. I mean, this offensive line is a lot better today than it was even Monday of last week. This offensive line just needs depth. That's all it needs now is quality depth. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I think we just need quality depth. We need everybody it's just cool to see that this organization is finally putting some real dudes behind these trenches, man. I don't know how long, CJ, how long Ryan Poe's been here. And out of all the years, this is the year that he finally spends money and he's not in the damn shoe bargain or the shoe bin or shoe carnival getting offensive linemen. So CJ, man, what do you think about these numbers right here, man? Like, this is getting the number one center in free agency, bro. Like, this is pretty cool.
I mean, his numbers have been impressive. You know, that's why he's the second paid center in the league right now. You know, the Bears had to get him. They got him. You know, so it's a big thing for the Bears to get a center like this, that can do good in the run game. It should help out the Bears' run game for the upcoming season. So it's a good, beautiful thing.
And Chicago clearance, this is his overall grade. He's a 78.8 overall. Let me get this comment out the way because I can't see it. Craig said, "Well said, Andy. This is his run block. It's almost another 80. So what do you think about these numbers right here? He's not so good in the pass block, but he's pretty damn solid in the run block. What you think, Chicago?"
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. Our plan is going to be able to run the ball, and that's exactly what Ben Johnson has said throughout all of his interviews, especially when he was down there at the Super Bowl. Everybody was asking him what kind of offense and what some of the schemes, and he didn't really want to get into that, but he did allude to the fact that he plans on running the ball. And to me, listen, guys, that's just common sense. We've been saying this for years. I know I have. You cannot have an effective offense if you don't have an effective offensive line. I don't care who your quarterback is. Just go down there and ask Patrick Mahomes, how does it feel being on your back throughout a game? In the biggest game of the season, he was running for his life all game. If you cannot protect your quarterback, you can forget about scoring points. And all of that ranks right ahead of offensive competency. And that's something we seem not to have. It is no fluke that we get a coach in there that knows what he's doing, knows how to call plays, knows how to draw up plays, because that's big too. Our last 4 offensive coordinators didn't even know the concept of drawing up a play. I'm talking about personnel. Who's going to be where? You know, some of the things we used to kill Nagy on is when he used to be on the goal line and have 5'2" Tariq Cohen in there trying to block a linebacker. That's what we're talking about, or having competency at drawing up plays. So Ben Johnson knows this. Nothing that he wants to be able to do, he's going to be able to do it if he doesn't have an offensive line. All of this is key. So Dalman, Tunney, Jackson, Darnell Wright coming in. And I don't know what we plan on doing at left tackle yet. That's going to be up in the air. But all of this sets up to having a powerful running game. And when you can run the ball, you can do a whole lot of other things. All of them being good.
Well said, man. We got Craig right here. He said, I think Warren did this pose is just his puppet. Warren says jump the pole, say that's how high and what leg. Hey man, you know Warren is not playing. He's trying to build a winning team. That's what he's been focused on since he's been here, and also those stadiums. So I expect anything left to come from a big dog of, you know what I mean, a man like Kevin Warren, to be honest. We got the Bears News Australia says Dan Rushchuck can hopefully lift that pass block grade. Yeah, and Andy, this is the projected probably starting 5 right here. Because they didn't make any splash at left tackle. You know, left tackles are pretty much impossible to probably get in free agency. So you got Braxton Jones. Now you got Drew Dalman. You got the right tackle right there. What's Darnell Wright? Then you got Jonah Jackson. Then you got Tunney. Like, this line has improved. So what are your thoughts right now collectively as this unit prepares to start next season and training camp and everything like that?
Well, no question, this offensive line is better than it was last year already. Ben Johnson would trade a draft pick for John Jackson if he did not believe in him. So I think he's going to be good to go. Braxton Jones, I mean, the ankle injury was pretty bad. We don't know if he's going to be ready to go once camp starts. But, I mean, you can cover up a bad left tackle.
I was hoping that we were going to do that with Ronnie Stanley, but it didn't work out that way. So then you start looking at, okay, well, what do we have coming out of the draft? And it's going to be slim pickings down because the number one guy people were talking about was Will Campbell, but Will Campbell is projected to be a guard. He's got short arms, and we can't put him out there, especially being a rookie, to protect our quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know. Do we have another trade in us? We just saw what Washington did today, getting Larry Thompson. And that is something that I definitely would have looked at. I don't know if I would have wanted to pay the price that they did, giving up 4 picks. But at the same time, we got to do something at that left tackle position. To me, that is still a very, very big weak spot for that line. We need to upgrade at the left tackle position.
Yeah, we definitely need to upgrade the left tackle position. Dude can't stop a bull rush at all. So, CJ, what do you want to piggyback or say about that? What Chicago Clarence said about this? This is starting 5. You see this starting 5. What concerns you more? Is it the left tackle position or is it Jonah Jackson?
I'm gonna say probably Jonah Jackson and the left tackle. So there's definitely 2 positions there's definitely 2 guys I'm concerned about.
I'm concerned about Tunney and I'm concerned about Braxton Jones. Like, it's still gonna be a nightmare. Teams are still gonna pretty much come at his neck, try to destroy him, try to get to our quarterback on that left side right there. Like, I'm not totally convinced and I'm not totally sold about this situation with Braxton Jones. I think they're going to keep him, but at the same time, I think they're going to take a tackle in the draft. I don't know where, but I think they will do it. Tunney, I'm concerned about that too. But I like this starting 5. It looks better than it ever looked before. I think we can rock out with this. I think we can roll out with this the first week of the season and be fine. It's always going to be the games where we got to play great pass rushes. Those are going to be the games that expose Braxton Jones. Those are probably going to be the games that expose Tunney. So we got to make sure that we have enough insurance on this offensive line to where it doesn't hurt us when games that we need to win in the trenches, despite us making changes, that we don't get destroyed. So the work is not done. Jones still has a target on his back as far as getting paid, because next year, Chicago, Clarence, if he stays here, he's looking at 25 to 30 million or something like that. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at that, but there's just no way that we should be ever even thinking about giving him that. You know what I'm saying? Forget about paying you for tenure. We need to pay you for production. And there is no way that you're going to give a tackle, not to mention a left tackle, $20 to $25 million per year, and he can't block the bull rush. I mean, he basically told the NFL that that's what his weakness is. And if you look at the tape, he gets manhandled. And that's just about against everybody. And you can't afford to continue to have to put help on that side of the line simply because he can't win one-on-one battles. You got to get somebody in that spot that can. And I'm sorry, I got nothing against the guy. But guys, I know you guys feel the same way I do. This is winning time. This is winning time. You don't go out there and invest in capital and money in your football team and you still want to play games. So if anybody is in a position and they can't handle it, we need to get them the hell up out of here. It's winning time. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It's time to put the babies to bed to get the grown man and go outside.
Because listen, I don't know about being one of the best right tackles in the NFL. I'm gonna have to push back on that because he is not in my opinion. You can't have guys. Listen, we were talking about this your last show. How many years? At the age of 34, this guy is 7 to 8 years younger than that. And we got him cheaper than what Matt got. So and he's also solid against the run as well. Big time signing for this guy. Big time. I'm super excited about him. He's exactly what we needed.
Exactly what we needed. Because here's some of the numbers, CJ. So, CJ, what's your thoughts on this? When you first saw this, were you familiar with him, man? So, what were your thoughts, Steve?
I mean, I watched the tape on him, and he gets a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He can get to the quarterback in a hurry. He's very good running downhill. Yeah, I've seen him on tape. So he runs downhill. I mean, he's impressive.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna get him when he runs downhill. When he runs downhill, it's over for the quarterback. It's over for him. That's where the quarterback pressure comes from him. So I think he's gonna be a nice piece. A constant sweat I think he did a nice addition to the defense.
Yeah, I think so too. I just don't know too much about him, but you guys are pretty much selling me on him, so I'm just gonna go with you guys. We got Craig saying I was skeptical at first, but if you can dig into it, he's had 42 pressures in the last 2 seasons. He does fit Dennis Allen's style good because he is fast and long. Okay. Then we got the Bears news Australia right here saying hopefully he can develop and trust. Oh, I think he's talking about I forgot who he was talking about. Should have read that earlier.
Right.
Oh, Darnell Wright. Then we got Craig said, damn, CC, you always stealing my lines. Y'all be on the same track, boy. Y'all know what y'all talking about. So, Andy, these numbers right here, 18 solo tackles, you know what I mean? 10 assists. It's not always about the numbers, but like Chicago Clarence said, it's about the hurries and everything else like that. So this is his overall grade. You know what I'm saying? Pass rush is 65. Run defense, he's not the best. So what does he bring it to the table to you that's just making it seem like, well, let's not fall into too much of the numbers. The numbers don't always tell the whole story. Crazy signing, CJ. This was kind of crazy because we saw him he got released by the Falcons, and that made me think that they was saving money for Dalman. I'm like, there goes Dalman right there. They got rid of this guy, but it came back, CJ, and they said that this guy was signed. So what was your first reaction when you saw this, C?
I was like, holy shit. No, that was my first reaction because when he's healthy, he's dangerous. He puts offensive linemen on your backs. He's very strong. He disrupts the middle. Which the Bears had a problem with, is getting pressure up the middle. Through the offensive line, through the defense. I mean, so that's what he's going to bring. He's going to bring that pressure up the middle. He's going to help out the linebackers. He's going to help out the defensive ends. This is the guy that can cause a lot of problems. Offensive line out there.
Yeah. So, Chicago Clarence, man, what were your first thoughts when you saw this? But let me get to these comments because I kind of missed a few. He said, Craig says, and I think he's talking about Dayo. He said he would bring a lot more pressure off of Sweat minus Booker. Last year, we had nobody that could get pressure. That is so true. Then we got Bears news. I was like, kind of like, who? But I'm getting sold. Like, yeah, when guys like Chicago Clarence and Andy and Allen can give you more analysis and more breakdown of what a player can provide through their expertise and their wisdom, you got to listen because, like Andy said, they're not signing these people for no reason. You know what I mean? You don't sign a 6'6", 290 guy for no reason. I didn't even know he was that damn big and tall. That's a tall dude, bro. So his hands going to be up the whole time. So have him as a defensive tackle. So what are your thoughts on that? Because that was a good comment by you, Chicago fans, talking about this. Because you've been saying he's not a 3-tech. Isabella's been saying he's not really a good 3-tech. But you got to keep him because he's good at something. He might be better on the edge. So Andy, do you agree with that assessment like that?
Yeah, I mean, I would still definitely keep Dexter under contract. I still think he's a pretty good player. I don't think he's a prototypical 3 technique. I think he's too light.
Exactly.
He's too light already. But Dennis Allen likes his defensive ends long, thicker, and Dexter would be in long, thick defensive ends because he's actually pretty tall and pretty heavy, but he's just light for defensive tackle. So they can sneak Dayo in as defensive tackle on obvious pass rush and keep Dexter in as defensive tackle, or put Dexter on an edge, or you can even sneak Sweat inside. I mean, this signing of Grady Jarrett and Dayo today gives them versatility. And now they have a nice 3-man rotation at defensive tackle with Jarrett, Dexter, and Billings. So now no one really knows they kept Chris Williams. I don't know if anyone really noticed that. They actually tendered him a $3 million contract. So they must have liked him to keep him. He was number 91 for us last year. He didn't play that much, but he still had 3 sacks. So, and then we still have Booker that we can have on edge, but it still wouldn't stop us from adding another edge player. You cannot have too much of a pass rush. It's never a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. We got he said Craig right here saying this man is going to be a massive bolster to the interior, very good locker room presence. He can do it all, which is also going to help Dexter. We got Craig saying I think he is a top left tackle. LT left at tackle or 10, we take it, miss his ass. Wait, I think if there is a top 2 left tackle at 10, we take his ass. Or hear me out. You take a fast linebacker because we lack a true cover linebacker. That's a good one because I've been wanting to pass rush, but linebacker sounds good too. We got Isabella. She said, I mean, you say old, but I remember 40-year-old Keith Trailer and Ted Washington combo doing some damage. That's a little bit before my time. I don't know who those guys are.
Well, those are guys that we had when we were in the NFC Championship game against Philly, and they came to Soldier Field and beat us when we were the number 2 seed. The head coach of that team just died this past year. What was his name, Andy? Remind me. Hey, I think, like Andy said, we still got to add another piece or two. I don't think we done, nor should we be done. There's some guys down there in Georgia that we can grab. If Mason Graham falls to us at 10, I don't give a damn who else that. Take him. We need somebody like that.
Or Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Yeah, man,
Abdul Carter there's no way Abdul Carter's falling to us at 10, but if he does, hallelujah. Sign me up for Abdul Carter.
Man, I gotta read CJ. We're gonna end it with you on the last segment. We're gonna get Isabella's comment. She said no, they came to Chicago. I think she's talking about that NFC Championship game. No, they came to Chicago.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. Yeah,
on a dirty play after the whistle was blown at halftime. Chicago had to leave. She said, "Fuck you, Douglas," to this day. And then she says, "And that probably cost us a Super Bowl." All right. And she said, and Craig says Graham would be legit. So CJ, man, just what's your thoughts on everything that we went through, man? I got to get your opinion on the new guys. You know, I know I left a couple of guys off here just for the picture and all that, but what do you think about this? Because Montez has help now. You know what I mean? Billy's got a little help now. Javon got help, so they building depth and looking like they're trying to build a lethal unit. So what you think, C?
I mean, I think the Bears done an excellent job this free agency, improving the offensive line, improving the defensive line. Now,
free agency episode, man. Shout out to the Bears Den podcast for coming in here. Twitter, I don't know what happened to X today, man, but sorry, X. Somehow it still got over 300 views, but right now I'm looking at X right now. I was just showing the first intro video. I don't really know what's going on with X, and I apologize to our special guest for holding him up a little bit longer than I wanted to. Y'all know I'm usually on time and everything like that, but this was one of those days where it really was nothing that I could do about it. But I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging around even more. So Chicago Clarence, man, before you get out of here, what's your final thoughts, man? By that kid in JC Horn that got to Carolina. And the first thing I thought about when he got that contract was Jalen Johnson got signed on a steal, bro.
Yes.
We got JJ on a steal because his JC Horn contract makes JJ contract look like he might have to renegotiate in about another year or something like that. So
don't say that.
I'm tired of the offseason champion stuff, but it is what it is. That's what Chicago Bears, right? You got to be who we are right now. Like Chicago Clarence said, they got to translate towards wins. So shout out for Craig coming here. Shout out to Isabella to coming here. Shout out to everybody that stayed on Twitter, despite Twitter being an absolute mess today. It was crashing during the NFL free agency out of all days. It's messed up our live today. And shout out to everybody over the 300 views still came. So the next episode will probably be the draft or something big happen again. We'll probably do a Twitter space. But until then, I don't know if I'm going to put this on Twitter until Twitter and Elon Musk get their shit together, man. But that being said, I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast. That's CJ. That's Andy, the Bears Den Podcast. That's Chicago Clash. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Peace. God bless y'all. We out.